राम 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 सर्वेभ्यः सुप्रभातम्। गुरुरेव गुरुनैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरु। सर्वेभ्यः अद्यतन कक्षा कृते स्वागतं व्याहरामि। I welcome you all to this day 4 of this course, Popular Sayings in Sanskrit. एतावत् पर्यन्तम् अस्माभिः प्रायः 30 लोकोक्तयः दृष्टाः। अद्य इतोपि अग्रिम लोकोक्तयः दृष्ट्वा अग्रे सरामः। अद्यतनस्य प्रथमा लोकोक्तिः एवं वर्तते। न समुद्रतलम् अस्पृष्ट्वा नरः विन्दति मौक्तिकम्। समुद्रतलम् अस्पृष्ट्वा नरः मौक्तिकं न विन्दति इति अस्य आशयः। Pearls cannot be obtained without diving deep into the ocean. महत्वस्तुनः कृते महतः यत्नस्य आवश्यकता अस्ति। न समुद्रतलम् अस्पृष्ट्वा नरो विन्दति मौक्तिकम्। यदि महान् लाभः अपेक्षितः तर्हि महान् प्रयत्नः अपि अपेक्षितः। जगति लोके अति अल्प श्रमेण अधिकं फलं प्राप्तुं प्रायः न शक्यते। यदि उत्तम फलानि अपेक्षितानि तर्हि उत्तम कार्याणि अपि कर्तव्यानि इति अस्य आशयः। As we know, great things cannot be achieved with small efforts. With only great efforts comes great reward. Effort only fully releases its reward after a person refuses to quit from the task that he has taken up and he is working on it. So if you want to get a pearl, then we have to go to the bed of the ocean. Only then you will be able to get that pearl. So that means to say, nothing is easy. If you want invaluable things, then the effort that we put in also should be immeasurable. So much of effort, once we put that effort, we get also the result or the fruit of that action, which will also be very much precious. So always we shouldn't stop at, say, this much of work is sufficient, let me be happy or just be contented with whatever result I get. We should strive hard to get the best of the results. So that is the meaning of this lokokti. This also reminds of the previous lokokti that we have seen, wherein it says we shouldn't still overburden something. We shouldn't overburden ourselves, overstrain ourselves, because tattu vinashaya eva atibharaha purusham avasadayati is another lokokti which we had seen. That also doesn't stop us from working towards our goal or working in the best way possible. We should do it probably in a smarter way. That is not just a brute force method of just working hard and just hard, but working in the right way with all the available resources in the best extent possible. Tadvat yadi vayam karyam kurmaha समुद्रतलं स्पृष्ट्वा एव अस्माकं कृते तत्र मौक्तिकस्य लाभः भवति. This can be also extended towards learning, not just materialistic benefits, but also to gain the Atma Gunas as well, to nurture our Atma Gunas. It can be any sadhana that we may be doing. The day by day, that as the days pass, we need to improve the way we learn, improve the way we apply the thoughts that we have already learned. There, the real prayatna is required. The prayatnaha mahan bhavati tadrisha sthaleshu. Sanskritadhyanam kurmaha chet tatra talasparshi jnanam apekshitam. So we should day by day increase our intellect, increase the learning of our shastras, and that comes only with constant practice and effort that we put in to learn. So if we want to become very knowledgeable, that is, if any question is asked, we will be able to give an answer to it, then in that case, we should put in so much of effort to learn what is there. So great things cannot be achieved without great efforts. Na samudratalam asprishtvā naraha vindati mauktikam. Agrimaha lokoktihi asti nacha agatam sukham tyajet. Vayam tu janimaha अस्मिन् संसारे सुखम दुःखम उभावपि परिवर्तन रूपेण एकस्यानन्तरम् आगच्छन्ति. सुखस्यानन्तरं दुःखम, दुःखस्यानन्तरं सुखम, एवं रूपेण सर्वदा भवति. तदर्थम् अत्र चाणक्यः वदति, आगतं सुखम न त्यजेत्. यदा सुखम भवति तस्य अनुभवः अपि कर्तव्यः. तस्मिन् समये दुःखस्य चिन्तनम् अथवा गतस्य अथवा भूतकालस्य चिन्तनं वा अथवा भविष्यत्कालस्य चिन्ता वा न कर्तव्या इति. One should not leave a good chance. अत्र सुखम् इत्युक्ते न केवलं happiness, it can be opportunity, it can be a good chance, it can be a good time, good fortune, anything. Asya samsarasya sukha dukkhatmakam phaladvayam asti. Yatha anivarya rupena dukkha praptir jayate tathaiva cha sukhasya praptihi. Atayeva na chagatam na cha agatam sukham tyajet. Iti prayogasya udaharanam vartate. सर्वदा मनुष्यस्य इच्छा किमस्ति? अहं सुखं प्राप्नोमि इत्येव मनुष्यः सदा चिन्तयति. अपि च अत्र उक्तिरपि अस्ति, एतदपि पुनः सुन्दरकाण्डात् एव उद्धृतः वर्तते. जीवन भद्राणि पश्यति शतमपि आयुः भवति चेदपि जीवन यदि वयं जीवामः अवश्यं सुखं प्राप्नुमः एव. यद्यपि अद्य कष्टं वर्तते, क्लेशः विद्यते, दुःखम् अस्ति, परं तत्तु न शाश्वतम् इति हनुमान् चिन्तयति. पुनश्च सीता अपि तथा एव चिन्तयति. अतः सर्वदा वयं सुखस्य आकांक्षा अस्माभिः क्रियते एव. तदर्थं यदा सुखम् आगच्छति तदा तस्य स्वीकारः अपि कर्तव्यः. तस्मिन् समये दुःखस्य विषये वा अन्य विषये चिन्ता न कर्तव्यम् इति अस्य लोकोक्तेः सारांशः. one shouldn't let go the opportunity that one gets. Happiness, sorrow, these come one after the other. And so when happiness comes, we need to rejoice it. Anyapi uktirasti nahi sukham dukkhair vina labhyate. If there is no dukkha, then we'll not be able to also appreciate when we get something which is happier, or when we become happy. So these are the dualities of life. Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, all these. And that's why Gita Charya, Parthasaratihi, Krishnaha, Sarvada Vadati, Sukha Dukkhe Same Kritva, Labha Labhau, Jaya Jayau, iti. So we shouldn't go on cloud nine when we are really happy, and we shouldn't go to the bottom of the ocean when we are deeply sorrow. We should have a balanced state of mind. With a balanced state of mind, we need to receive, we need to look at both sukha and dukkha, and that is what will make us be stable all time. So that is something which we should understand whenever we speak about the dualities in life, that is like sukha, dukkha, shita, ushna, labha, alabha, etc. Ataha nacha agatam sukham tyajet avashyam agatam sukham bhoktavyam iti asya lokoktayaha ashayah. Agre saramaha. Etapi vayam tu sarvada etasya vishaye chintanam kurmaha janimaha api. Na durjano jatu jahati durgunam. Durjanaha tasya durgunam kadapi na jahati. Na jatu jahati. Kadapi na jahati. Na tyajati ityarthaha. Wicked is always wicked. Prakritihi dustyaja. Na durjano jatu jahati durgunam. Iti prayogaha. संस्कृत साहित्ये सुभाषित साहित्येपि तत्र जनानां विभागं कुर्वन्ति. यथा मया पूर्वमपि सूचितम्, उत्तमाः, अधमाः, मध्यमाः, नीचाः, सज्जनाः, दुर्जनाः, साधवः, खलः इत्यादि रूपेण तत्र विभागः दृश्यते. दुर्जनानां तत्र विषये किमस्ति तत्र उक्तिः इत्युक्ते, ते सर्वदापि दुर्गुणेषु एव आसक्ताः भवन्ति. तेषां दुर्गुणं कदापि ते न त्यजन्ति इति. यथा कुक्कुरस्य पुच्छं कदापि समानं न भवति, सर्वदा कुटिलमेव भवति इति. The tail of a dog, it will be always bent. You can never make it straight. Yatha vayam vadamaha tadvat. Sarvada durjanaha kim dushkaryam kim nikritim karomi ityeva chintayati. Nikriti priyahi durjanaha ityapi purvasmin lokokti madhye asmabhi drishtam. Tadvat sarvada te durguneshu eva asaktaha bhavanti. Prakritihi dustyaja. Dustyaja nama tyaktum na shakyate. Prakritihi ityukte one's own character, one's own nature, that cannot be given up easily. It is very difficult to leave that. There's a saying in Kannada which says the behaviors or the guna that you get from your birth, even until your death, it will not spare you. That means to say it will be always with you. When we see of this, what are those gunas that are there related to the durjanas? What do these wicked people have? What kind of qualities or what kind of behaviors do they exhibit? If you ask a question, we can relate to various subhashitas which give that information about what is their character. It is said, Murkasya pancha chinnhani uktani. There are 5 kind of qualities of murkha, or we can also extend that definition to the durjanas also. What are those 5 lakshanas? If you ask a question, that is basically based out of another subhashita. Murkhasya pancha chinnhani garvaha durvachanam tatha krodhascha dridhavadascha paravakyeshu anadaraha. Garvaha, the pride that they have, even though they might have not done anything significant, but they will have that vanity, false pride. Durvachanam, always they abuse people with their harsh words. Krodhascha, they will be always maybe angry, arrogant. Then dridhavadascha, that is whatever they say, that has to be like that, even though there may be no logic related to it, or even though if the other person gives them some right direction, no, this is not like this, we should do it this way or the other, they will never agree. They will always debate to just establish their point and just to say this is what it is, and I always stand by it. So that is the dridhavadascha. Paravakyeshu anadaraha. So they will not respect others' words. Paravakyeshu anadaraha. So tadrishaha bhavanti durjanaha. Na durjanaha jatu jahati durgunan. So that is something that we should always remember. It is very difficult for anyone to change the way they have been brought up. So if it is in a bad company, then it is very difficult to come out of that. So we can always remember the story of 2 parrots, which is again from Panchatantra, wherein 2 siblings, basically 2 parrots, one was taken away by a butcher and one was taken by a sadhu. And the way they grow in these 2 places, the way they try to learn what and how the butcher and the sadhu treated various people. And once they were set free, when they come to a forest, how they behaved with the other birds and with the ongoers in that place. So the parrot which grew in a butcher's house had always heard, kill that, let me cut it, etc., which were very much harsh. And the parrot which grew in a sadhu's place, it always heard good words, please come, please sit down, the atithi satkara, etc. So that always reminds us that a bad company will always lead to gaining bad qualities, and that will never go away. Excuse me. Kshamyatam, I had a bad throat. Evam, ataha na durjanaha jatu jahati durgunam. Agre gacchamaha. Etadapi asmabhi drishtamapi purvam gunairvihinaha bahujalpanti. Fools talk much, karyam na kurvanti, param adhikam bhashante. Bho bho virama vyartha pralapat anyatha nate kashchidapi shroshyati yataha gunairvihinaha bahujalpanti. Subhashtameva vartate sampurna kumbho nakaroti shabdam ardho ghato ghosham upaiti nunam vidwan kulinaha nakaroti garvam गुणैर्विहीनाः बहु जल्पयन्ति. जल्पयन्ति, जल्पन्ति, उभयथापि साधु एव. एवं यदि गुणैः विहीनाः, गुणाः न सन्ति चेत्, दुर्गुणाः, दुर्गुणभरिताः सन्ति चेत्, दुर्जनाः सन्ति चेत्, बहु भाषन्ते, कार्याणि अधिकं न कुर्वन्ति इत्यर्थः. The empty vessels make much noise. जानीमः एव. तद्वदेव अर्धो घटो घोषमुपैति नूनं. यथा अर्धः घटः अधिकं शब्दं करोति, तद्वत् अल्पज्ञानी महागर्वी इत्यपि उक्तिरस्ति. One who has less knowledge will always have more pride. So the prayoga here says that in the same way, vyartha pralapat, vyartha, don't do this waste, this conversation which is of no use, this conversation in vain. Because if you keep doing it, na kashchidapi te shroshyanti, no one will listen to you. Because yataha gunairvihinaha bahu jalpanti. Everyone knows people who are not having good qualities, who is bad, will just speak. एतदर्थमपि अन्यदपि सुभाषितं वर्तते. यथा मूर्खस्य पञ्चचिह्नानि उक्तानि, तद्वदेव किमर्थं साधवः अन्यसाधनानाम् उपयोगं कथं कुर्वन्ति, दुर्जनाः कथं कुर्वन्ति इति अन्यत् सुभाषितं वर्तते. विद्या विवादाय, धनं मदाय, शक्तिः परेषां परपीडनाय, खलस्य साधोः विपरीतमेतत् ज्ञानाय दानाय च रक्षणाय. विद्या अस्ति, धनम् अस्ति, शक्तिरस्ति, त्रयः अपि विद्यते. साधुः कथम् एतस्य उपयोगं करोति, दुर्जनः खलः एतस्य उपयोगं कथं करोति इति पृष्टे सति, दुर्जनः तु विद्यां विवादाय एव उपयुज्यते. Vivadam eva kartavyam. I want to just debate. That is why I'm just learning this. So whenever I want to debate, I will use this point and I will debate. Vivadaya. But in contrast, a sadhu will use the vidya for jnana, to obtain the prime knowledge that is there. Then dhanam madaya. The wicked people use the dhana for mada. That is to enjoy. But great people, good people use the dhana for dana, danaya. Shaktihi, their power, they use it for parapidanaya in case of wicked people. And in case of sadhus, they use it for rakshanaya. They use it to protect others. So this way, if we see, bahujalpanti means it is like they always speak, they blabber something. So gunairvihinaha bahujalpanti, because of the half-baked knowledge that they have. There's another similar subhashita which is there. Garjat ghana na varshanti, varshanti cha ghana ghanaha. The clouds that roar won't pour water, but the dense clouds will only rain. So this is similar to the other saying in English, which is kind of equivalent, may not be the exact one. The barking dogs seldom bite. So these are something which is similar in context, in the sense that what they are up to. They will just speak, but they will not do. So these are some of the subhashitas and the lokoktis that we can relate to when we read this lokokti, gunairvihinaha bahujalpanti. So we should always know when to speak and when not to, and how much we should speak, etc. These qualities are very difficult to get, and it takes a complete lifetime to learn what to speak when. Even though we may learn to speak at a very young age, maybe by end of, say, first year, we will be able to say a few words. By end of 2 years, we may be able to make sentences. By end of 3 years, we may be able to speak well. But the entire lifetime, we will not be able to know when to speak what and how to speak and how to communicate it. So that's a lifelong learning that one has to go through. But of course, if you are in good company, you will learn most of these in a easier and a well way. एवम् अग्रे सरामः. अग्रिमस्तावत् बहु प्रस्तुतविषयः एव. गतानुगतिको लोकः. गत अनुगतिकः लोकः. गतानुगतिकः लोकः. People like sheep are blind followers. A prayoga for this is Mahajanaha yena margena gacchati anyepi tenaiva margena gacchanti yatohi gatanugatiko lokaha. When we look at this lokokti, we can understand it and its relevance to today's world. Gatasya anugatikaha lokaha. If you want to split it and understand this lokokti, gatasya anugatikaha lokaha. Lokaha anugatikaha. Anu, whenever we use the upasarga anu, tasya artha asti to follow. Vadati anuvadati. He speaks, he repeats. Anuvadati. Gacchati anugacchati. He goes, someone else, anugacchati, he follows him. The loka itself, that means to say all people, of course there will be exceptions, but when we say it in majority, most of the people follow someone else who is doing something. There is a beautiful story that comes to my mind when I hear this gatanugatiko lokaha. There's a subhashita also associated with it. Gatanugatiko lokaha na lokaha paramarthikaha ganga saikatalingena nashtamme tamrabhajanam. लघु कथा अस्ति, संक्षेपेण वदामि. एकदा एकस्मिन् ग्रामे एकः भिक्षुकः आसीत्. सः प्रतिदिनं भिक्षाटनं कृत्वा यत्किमपि धनं सः प्राप्नोति तत्सर्वं एकस्मिन् ताम्रभाजने, ताम्रकुम्भे स्थापयति स्म. यदा सः घटः अथवा कुम्भः, ताम्रकुम्भः संपूर्णः संजातः, धनेन संपूर्णः संजातः, तदा सः चिन्तयति अहं काशीक्षेत्रं गत्वा विश्वनाथस्य दर्शनं कृत्वा आगमिष्यामि इति चिन्तयित्वा सः काशीं प्रति गच्छति. काशीनगरं गत्वा प्रथमं तत्र सः गङ्गानद्याः तटे आगच्छति. तत्र स्नानादिकं कृत्वा अहं दर्शनार्थं गच्छामि इति चिन्तयति. सः एकाकी अस्ति. अतः तद्धनपात्रं कुत्र स्थापयामि इति सः चिन्तयति. अस्तु, अहम् एवं करिष्यामि. अहम् अत्रैव एकं रन्ध्रं कृत्वा भूमौ अहं तत्र घटं स्थापयामि. तदुपरि एकं शिवलिङ्गं कृत्वा अहं स्नानार्थं गच्छामि. तदा यदा मम स्नानादिकं समाप्यते तदा आगत्य अत्रैव मम धनपात्रमस्ति इति ज्ञात्वा अहं तत् स्वीकरोमि इति सः चिन्तयति. अस्तु, एवमेव सः तत्र भूमौ संस्थाप्य एकं शिवलिङ्गस्य निर्माणं करोति. स्नानार्थं गच्छति. अन्ये जनाः ये तत्र आगच्छन्ति ते तद् दृष्ट्वा तत्र शिवलिङ्गं, मृण्मयं शिवलिङ्गं दृष्ट्वा चिन्तयन्ति, ओहो, अस्मिन् क्षेत्रे एवं विशेषः वर्तते. यदि स्नानात् पूर्वम् एवं शिवलिङ्गस्य निर्माणं कृत्वा स्नानादिकं क्रियते चेत् अधिकं फलं भवति इति चिन्तयित्वा अन्येपि जनाः तथा एव तत्र सैकतलिङ्गं कुर्वन्ति. कृत्वा स्नानार्थं गच्छन्ति. एषः भिक्षुकः स्नानं परिसमाप्य यदा आगच्छति पश्यति न तु एकः लिङ्गः वर्तते यत् तेन निर्मितं, परं तत्र बहवः तादृश मृण्मयलिङ्गाः सन्ति. तर्हि सः चिन्तयति, ओ मम धनपात्रं कुत्र अस्ति इति गत्वा एकत्र गत्वा तत् भिन्नं कर्तुं प्रयत्नं करोति. तदा यः तत् निर्मितवान् सः आगत्य तं ताडयति. एवं Ganga saikatalingena nashtam me tamrabhajanam. More often than not, most of us do something without the right thinking in our mind. We just blindly follow some of the things. So it's a caution to everyone that we should do some of the tasks, some of the work, after understanding why we are doing it and how we should do it in the right way possible. So that is what this saying gatanugatikaha lokaha emphasizes on. Today, as we know, there is so much of social pressure, societal pressure through a lot of social media, through the peer pressure, that most of us try to follow one of the other things that one of our friends do or one of our relatives do, etc. We don't think whether it is right for us or not, but we just follow. Blind following is never accepted or endorsed in the Shastras. Shastras speak. There itself, if you see any of the Shastra Granthas, there is a Purva Paksha and there is a Siddhanta. A Purva Pakshi will always keep asking the questions. Why is this like this? There's a lot of room for the question and answer in the Shastras whenever we speak. So we should ask, we should be inquisitive about why we are doing certain things, and we should do it. When I say this, I also keep in mind, and I again caution you, it is not that unless we find an answer, we shouldn't do what we are doing. For example, it may be rituals. It may be some of the traditions that we may follow at our home. Not that unless we get all the answers, we should do it. But we should have that inquisitiveness to understand why our ancestors did something, why we follow certain procedures. We should do it, but the inquisitiveness should be also there. That is the intention of what I said now. Ataha gatanugatiko lokaha. Na lokaha paramarthikaha. It will never think of the paramartha. Kimartham etad asmabhi kriyate iti. So, agre saramaha. Gatasya shochanam nasti. Gatasya nama bhutasya bhutakalasya shochanam tad vishaye chintanam nakartavyam iti. Do not weep over the spilt milk. Iti Angla bhashayam vaktum shakyate. Yada yuddhe dhanam balam parijanaschya nashtaha tada rajapanditaha nripam pratibodhayamasa evam bodhayanti gatasya shochanam nasti iti. So after a war, we know if there is a war, so much of resources are probably wasted. It may be the money, it may be the strength of your army. Parijanaha, all your soldiers are all destroyed. So at such time, a Raja Pandita, a Raja Guru, will tell the king that do not worry and do not weep over whatever has happened. It has happened, that's it. So we cannot go back in time and change something. What we can change is how we can avoid such a situation by doing or taking the right step today. That is what is there in our hand. Only thing that is there in our hand is the present moment. The past is gone, the future is unknown. And only thing that we know is now. Whatever we do it now. So keeping that in mind, yatha amaya purvamapi uktam, gata shokam nakurvita bhavishyam naiva chintayet vartamaneshu kaleshu pravadanti panditaha. The great men or scholars will always do or will always be there at the present moment. They will never worry about what had happened or will never be afraid of what the future has. Tatasya shochanam nasti. There was another saying which I can remember. Yesterday's experience put to today's work can generate tomorrow's expectation. So That is experience, whatever had happened. And today's work, when we put that in today's work, we can expect a good or a bright future for tomorrow. So it is like the rear view mirror in our car. So it is just to ensure like what was the path in which we came. But always we should live in the present and work towards something that we expect from the coming days. We cannot just keep sitting and thinking good will come and without acting on it. If we sow a seed, then tomorrow it will grow into a big tree and it may give a good fruit. So the action has to happen today. Tadeva suchayati gatasya shochanam nasti adya kartavya karyani kartavyani eva. Agrima lokoktirasti guni eva gunam vetti na vetti nirgunaha. Guni eva gunam vetti. Only a virtuous knows the worth of the virtue. Only a jeweler knows the worth of a jewel. Murkhaha vidushaha mulyam na jananti. Yataha guni eva gunam vetti na vetti nirgunaha. It's always true. Only people who have gone through a certain struggle will know what exactly it is and what one faces during that struggle. And they can appreciate if anyone else is also treading the same path. The value, the guna, can be known only by the person who has that certain value. Guni. Gunaha asya asti iti. Gunam asya asti iti guni. So a quality is there in this person, asya asti. Then gunin, that is a shabda, nakaranta shabda. So guni means a person who has qualities. Only he can know the value of that particular quality. Gunam vetti. Na vetti nirgunaha. But a nirgunaha, a person who is not having that value or quality, he will not be able to understand about it. He will not be able to appreciate it. So there's a very famous saying, punctuality, for example. Punctuality is one of such qualities, rare qualities in people. The disadvantage of being punctual is that there's no one to appreciate it. Because if there's a meeting and only people who are really punctual come on time, and when they come, there'll be no one else to appreciate that someone has come on time. So that way, only people who are having certain qualities, who understand it, who value it, only they can really assess the quality in others. So only the virtuous knows the worth of the virtue. Only the jeweler knows the worth of the jewel. Everything in this world has a particular value. There's another Subhashita which says that amantram aksharam nasti moolam anaushadham ayogyaha purusho nasti yojakas tatra durlabhaha. The guna is there in everyone, but only thing is we will not make use of it in the right way, and hence we don't appreciate it, and hence we say that person is lacking of that guna. And there are infinite such qualities that we can associate, we can understand about various aspects. So for all the guna aspects, if you want to say, only person to go with is Rama, Shri Rama, who is the Maryada Purushottamaha, who has infinite qualities. Aganita Gunaughaha. So Gunadhyaha. So one who is rich in qualities. So that is Rama. So Guni eva gunam vetti na vetti nirgunaha. Nirgunaha gunam na vetti iti asya ashayah. Agre saramaha. Gatah kalo na punarupaiti. Gatah kalaha na punaha upaiti. Time once gone is gone forever. It never returns. Tvaraya karma vidhiyatam yataha gatah kalo na punarupaiti. Kalaha sarvadharaha. Tarkavakyam. And it is from whenever it has started, it has never stopped, or it has never rewinded itself. The flow of water in a river and the time, the seconds that flow is something which will never come back. Every moment is a new moment. And without knowing this, or without really taking the seriousness of this Vishaya, we tend to waste a lot of time. Kshanashaha vidyam sampadayet. Kshanashaha kanashashtaiva vidyam artham cha sadhayet. Ksanatyage kuto vidya, kanatyage kuto dhanam. Iti anyat subhashitam. Every second counts. If we consider our life, of course, for anyone, the mrityu is definitely there. But we don't know when that can happen. So all the things that we do should be done at this moment. That is the another saying which says, Ajaramaravat pragyaha vidyam artham cha sadhayet grihita iva kesheshu mrityuna dharmam acharet. Kshametam, there is a small typo in this slide. It is gatah kalo na punarupaiti. It is gatah kalaha is there. I'll just update this slide. Kshametam. So the kala is very important, and we should always keep in our mind that we should never waste even a second. Once wasted, it is completely gone, and we cannot account for it. So whatever we should do at the earliest. So that's what one of the Subhashitakara says. When should we start learning? When should we think about our Atma, or basically about Bhagavad Jnana, etc.? At what age should we start? Is it only that we start it once we have enough maturity, enough knowledge about the things, or what? So the Subhashita says, Yavat swasthamidam shariram arujam, yavat jara durataha, yavat chendriya shakti rapratihata, yavat kshayo nayushaha, atmashreyasi tavadeva vidusha, karyaha prayatno mahan, sandipte bhavanetu upakhananam pratyudyamah kitushaha. So we should always learn second by second. We should always think about the Paramatma, even from a very young age as well. Because gatah kalo na punarayati, gatah kalo na punarupaiti. So the time once passed is gone forever, and we should never waste the time. So tvaraya karma kuru, tvaraya karma vidhiyatam. So do the work immediately, because there's the time once gone is gone. Iti asya udaharanam agre saramaha. Gatam dukkham sukham cha tat. Yat gatam dukkham yat gatam tadeva sukham punascha gatam sukham dukkham cha tat. So this lokokti, we will have to read it twice. That is gatam dukkham sukham cha tat is kind of a cycle. Sukha dukkha is a cycle. If you consider a wheel, we know that if there is any spot, it goes up and it comes down. And when it's rotating, it repeats itself. So there's no one who has the happiness forever, and there's no one who is always in sorrow. So after dukkha, after sorrow, happiness comes. And after happiness, again, the dukkha comes. Misery and happiness follow each other. Gata bhumidhanaha kaschit bhumidharaha shochati yat gatam dukkham sukham cha tat. Gata bhumidhanaha means one who has lost some wealth because of a property. Kaschit bhumidharaha is a landlord, will think, oh, I have lost this. Gatam dukkham sukham cha tat. So I need to wait for the next time when I will gain wealth or something. So in that way, he has to think. When this is said, one important thing that we should remember with respect to the time and our feelings of sukha and dukkha. Whenever we are happy, this probably like the theory of relativity, like Einstein quotes in one of the examples. When we are with our nearest and dearest ones, even an hour seems like just a few seconds or a few minutes. But if we sit on a hot surface, even a second will be like an hour or more. So whenever we are in happiness, the time that passes by will not be able to assess it, will not be able to see it. But when we are in dukkha, when we are in sorrow, every second feels like a miserable year or so. So that's what Gita Charya again says. What you're seeing is not permanent. It is not shashvata. This will not stay for long, is what we should always remember. Whether it is sukha or dukkha, will always come and it will keep revolving. And we shouldn't worry about whenever we are in distress. We should think good days are ahead. And when we are happy, we shouldn't stop and we should just keep enjoying it. But we should also know that something might come later. So let me enjoy it in this whatever time I have got it. So katam dukkham sukham cha tat. Agrima lokoktirasti. Garvat sheelam mahat. Courtesy is greater than pride. Garvaha ityukte ahankaraha, pride, arrogance. Sheelam is basically good character, where it can be also extended to courtesy in certain sense. Courtesy is greater than pride. Darpa dalanameva mahatam prashastam. Yataha garvat sheelam mahat. Darpaha means garvaha. Tasya unmulanam. To remove that darpa is mahatam prashastam. So great people always appreciate removal of this arrogance or garva. So, and sheelam is, as I said, it can be extended to courtesy. It is the good character. It is the vinaya and all these things, humility, etc. So that is greater than pride. Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayat yati patratam, patratva dhanamapnoti, dhanat dharmam tatah sukham. The knowledge that we gain should be such that it should make us more humble. Vidya dadati vinayam. Vinaya is very important. If we get arrogance that I have learned this, I have completed this, etc., then it's a very bad thing. So once vinaya is there, we become satpatras. Vinayat yati patrata. Patratvat dhanamapnoti. From patratva, we get recognized, we get remuneration, or it can be anything, or dana, or anything. Dhanat, so patratvat dhanamapnoti, because satpatra dana is what is endorsed or endorsed by Gita Charya as well. And dhanat dharmam, from that money that we get, we should do the dharma karya. And dharma tataha sukham. From that we get happiness. So garva, anywhere you go, the entire Sanskrit literature, nowhere they speak about garva to be a positive attribute. But we can actually extend the term to sattvika garva. That is, you should have some arrogance in the way you're doing certain things, that you should have some pride in following the very much right values, or when you are in the righteous path, but that shouldn't hinder your progress. That is something that we should always keep in mind. I am happy that I am following a certain value, maybe punctuality or telling the truth always, etc. But that shouldn't hinder, or that shouldn't be an obstacle for you to grow and go to the next step. So what happens, that's why Acharyaha, Shankaracharyaha have written or have composed this Bhaja Govindam, which is actually called Moha Mudgaram. So all these bad qualities like Garva or Moha or any of these, we should actually take a hammer and hit it, so that it will not outgrow and make you stop from your growth. So that is something that we should keep in mind. Garvat Sheelam Mahat. So Sheelam is Eva Varam, and that is what we should always think. A good quality, good humble heart is something which is required than the pride or the arrogance that we may get. Agrimaha asti Ghate Rikte Dhvanir Mahan. Again, this is similar to Ardho Ghato Ghosham Upaiti Nunam and Gunair Vihina Bahujalpanti, the previous Subhashitas or the Lokoktis that we have seen. In the same theme, this also comes. Ghate Rikte Dhvanir Mahan. Empty pot makes more noise or more sound. Empty vessels make much noise. Mudhaha Atmastavam Adhikam Kurvanti Na Guru Gambhiraha. Yataha Ghate Rikte Dhvanir Mahan. Atmastavam nama, praising about themselves. Mudhaha, they say, oh, I have done this, or I am capable of doing this, or I have achieved this, etc. Atma garvam te pradarshanti. Adhikam kurvanti. Natu guru gambhiraha. Guru gambhiraha. Guru in the sense that they are not really dense, that they haven't really achieved so much. And they are not in that gambhira. That is, they're not like, not speaking about what they have actually done, but they are thinking about what should be done more. They never do that. So because ghate rikte, when the water is say from a full pot, if the water is removed, and then it starts making the noise. So ghate rikte dhvanir mahan, only then it makes noise. So all these things, all these lokoktis always guide us, have only one thing in common to say, what is the right way that one should work, one should learn, one should live this life. So that we should always keep in our mind. So Mahajanasya samsargha kasya na unnati karakaha. So we should always think of the right company or the good company, satsangatvam. So that is very important. Only that if we have, it probably answers to most of the questions that we may have in our life, most of the challenges that we may face. We will find out a right way to address it and come out of it. So there is another saying that probably comes to my mind. Mayuranam vane nrityam sundaram kietopi san na drishtam gunibhihi yavat tavadasti nirarthakam. We should appreciate the qualities that are there. Though a peacock dances well in a forest, unless and until it is seen by a guni who appreciates that, will not come into notice. Appreciating a particular value is also very important. So guna is very important. Gunairvihina bahujalpanti ghate rikte dhvanir mahan. So we should always keep watching for the good qualities in others, and we need to try to adapt into our lives as well. So that is something that we should always keep in mind, and that will always be helpful in making the best out of this beautiful life. Agrimamasti chakasti yogyena hi yogya sangamaha. Yogyena hi yogya sangamaha chakasti. Union of befitting people is always splendid. Purushottamam pradhanamantrinam drishtva yugapadeva janaha uchuhu chakasti yogyena hi yogya sangamaha. So union of two good things will always give rise to a very great thing. It can be in terms of anything that we see in this life. It can be the padavi, like as we see in this example, Pradhana Mantri is a post. Purushottamam Pradhana Mantrinam Drishtva. So a great person who is adorning that position of a prime minister, Drishtva, Yugapadeva Janaha Uchuhu Chakasti. Oh, what a great thing it is. A great person in a great post. Definitely great things are going to happen. The same way, you can also think of the union of great companies. In today's world, there is a lot of consolidation that is happening across the industries. There is a lot of collaboration that happens. When two companies, two mighty giants combined, it gives rise to a lot of new innovations. It gives rise to a lot of new products that the end users, who are we people, will be able to benefit out of it. So yogyena hi yogya sangamaha chakasti. Chakasti means it's beautiful. It is amazing. So only when the right things are associated with the right probably positions or anything like that, only then that particular sangama, that particular union will give rise to beautiful things. So that is the artha of this lokokti. Chakasti yogyena hi yogya sangamaha. Yogya sangamaha yogyena hi chakasti. Yogyaha, the word yogyaha means one which is befitting, on one which is worthy of something. Yogyaha. So that is something which we should understand. So these were some of the lokoktis that we were able to see today. With this, probably we will conclude for today's class. And as you know, tomorrow will be the concluding day for the lokoktis for this course. So I request all of you to participate the same way however you have participated over the last 4 days. And tomorrow we will complete this part 1 of the lokoktis. As I've said earlier as well, there is no measure of the number of lokoktis that are there in this vast Samskrita Sahitya. These are just a handful of them that we have chosen from some of the textbooks, and we are trying to present it in front of you. Of course, there will be more parts of this course that will be coming up in future as well, wherein we will collect more such beautiful lokoktis, and we will be doing it. But for this course, for this short term 5 days course, so tomorrow will be the concluding day. So now I shall open up for question and answer, and if you have any specific questions, please do raise your hands or put it in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer to the best of my knowledge. And one important thing I wanted to tell from yesterday's class, there was one question asked towards the end of the class. What is a lakara of apa? So bhartanam apa, in that we had seen that apa. Probably in haste, I told it as lang lakara. Kshamyatam for that. It is lit lakara. It is paroksha bhuta. It is the apto dhatu apnoti. For that dhatu, the rupa is apa apatuhu apuhu. Please make that correction. It is lit lakara. Paroksha bhute lit lakara. As soon as I ended the class, I thought, oh, I said something wrong. So I wanted to tell it at the beginning of the class, but not most of the people were available. So I am just making that comment now. Okay. So Lakshmi Bhagini, you can ask your question.
Namaste, sir.
Yes.
40th Darpa Dalanameva. I want the meaning of it.
Darpa means garva. Dalanam means removal of it.
Darpa Dalanam is also Kannadi ki kuda solluvaanga, sir. Darpanam,
that is darpanam, not darpa. Okay. Darpanam means mirror. Darpa means it's kind of false pride or vanity. Basically, it is garva, equivalent to garva. You can think it.
Darpa. Dalanameva is
dalanam. Dalanam means removal of it or destroying it. So that is dushta dalanam. These words you might have heard. So dalanam means always to remove it or to destroy it or to control it or something like that. That is the meaning of that word.
Dhanyavada.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. Rajni Bhargava.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Jalpanti and Jalpayanti mean the same thing?
Yes, it means the same thing.
Vihin, Bahu. Achha, one thing more, there are many Sanyuktakshar. So could we just have a breakdown so that it is easier to understand? Like today also we had Gata Anu Gati Koho Lokaha.
Yes.
Then Nischint, yesterday Nischintartha Dvirmati. If you could please just break out the words so that understanding.
Sure.
Thanks.
Sure. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavad.
I think while explaining the lokoktis, I have split the sandhis and try to explain it. Maybe I will spend more time on it when there are similar ones. So gata anugatikaha, for that matter, gata anugatika is the word. Gata anugatikaha. Gatasya anugatikaha will be the split of the samasa. So gata anugatikaha lokaha, that will be the one. And then Nishchitarthat Viramanti Dhiraha, I think that was the one in yesterday's one. Nishchitarthat. So there I think Nishchita Artha, that is what it is. I think I have split some of these, but if you have specific doubts related to specific lokoktis, please do drop an email. I will definitely provide some more explanation based on that. Okay. Shri Vidya Bhagini.
Mahodaya. Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Na jano jatu jahati durgunam. Samana murkasya nasti aushadam vaktum shakyate va, Mahodaya.
Murkasya nasti aushadam, and which is the other one which you said?
Na durjano jatu jahati durgunam.
Yes. You can say that is similar to that. That is right. Because murkhasya aushadham nasti, because the same way is for also a durguna who will never give away his bad qualities. That is right.
Dhanyavada.
Dhanyavadaha. Okay. Praveen Kulkarni Mahodaya.
क्षम्यतां महोदय, अहं किञ्चित् विलम्बेन आगतः. एकत्रिंशत् उक्तिः पुनः प्रस्तुतिं कर्तुं शक्यं वा?
प्रायः तत्र अद्यैव एतस्य ध्वनिमुद्रणम् अपि च दृश्यमुद्रणं ते अपलोड् कुर्वन्ति अद्यैव. अहम् एकवारं तत् दर्शयिष्यामि किमस्ति तस्मिन् स्लैड् मध्ये इति एकवारं दर्शयिष्यामि. परं पूर्णतया अधुना पुनः वक्तुं प्रायः न शक्यते, समयः नास्ति इति कारणात् अहं दर्शयिष्यामि, चिन्ता नास्ति. उत्तमम्. अमिता भार्गव. You can unmute and ask a question, Amita Bhargava.
My query was of 17th lokakti.
Okay.
Aprapyam nama neha dhirasya vyavasaya.
Your voice is very low. Kripya mic समीपे वार्तां करोतु इति प्रार्थये.
17th Aprapya nama. Nama is
Aprapyam nama means there is nothing called which is not obtainable. Aprapyam nama naihasti. There is nothing that is called unobtainable for people who are dhiras. Dhirasya vyavasayinaha. There is nothing that can be said as unobtainable. That is the meaning. Nama means it is like there's nothing called impossible. When we say called, that is what will be nama in this case. Hope that answers your question. Maybe still I have some issue in hearing to your words because of the mic or some technical glitch. Okay. Next, Vijaya Mahodaya, you can ask a question. And there was one question in the Q&A chat box. Jatu means what in Lokokti 32? Jatu means once. That is the meaning of that. Even for once, he will not leave it. Jatu chit means once. Jatu is just once. Even for one time. That is the meaning of that.
Mahodaya श्रूयते वा?
Adhuna श्रूयते.
इदम् अत्र मम दूरवाण्याम् एतत् स्लैड् न दृश्यते, अतः एव अत्र इदानीं सङ्गणके मया आगतम्.
Tatrapi drashtavyamev, because you need to probably, if you join from the phone, you may have to swipe through the screen once or twice. Then you will be able to see it also on the phone.
I have not seen any lokokti atra.
Okay. So maybe
agam once again I'll have to read it.
Yeah, you can try it. You need to just swipe once to the right or so. Otherwise, you'll be seeing only the video. So if you swipe once, I think you should be able to see the screen as well.
Yeah, I can see only your face, but not the lokoktayaha.
Correct. That is what.
Yeah. I'll do it in future.
Sure.
Dhanyavadah Mahodaya.
Dhanyavadah. Astu. So these were some of the questions, and I think pariksha katham bhavati ityadi vishaye shwaha vayam suchayamaha. So we will inform about the other course ending formalities and other things in tomorrow's class. So hope you have enjoyed these lokoktis that we have seen today. Close to 12 lokoktis we were able to see today. एतत् सर्वम् अस्माकं मनसि निधाय उत्तम पुरुषाः भवेम इत्युक्त्वा अद्यदिनस्य कक्ष्याम् अधुना समापयामः. धन्यवादाः सर्वेभ्यः. पुनः श्वः मिलामः. राम राम राम. नमो नमः.